Since I was 18 and 36 now. It's like 18 years.
So you spent most of your life in prison?
Grew up in there.
In an apartment?
Yeah, I just got an apartment.
And who do you live with?
I live with a girlfriend.
Does your boyfriend work?
He got laid off the week before Christmas.
So those are natural fingernails?
Yes, they're mine.
You got 4 kids and none of them are broken.
I am.
45, so I did about almost 30 years.
Give advice to young people. I would probably have had to recuse myself because I've known Evelyn for a long, long time. Evelyn.
Now you did it.
The defendant has spent most of his life in prison. He is in court with a counsel. Mr. Turner was charged with failure to execute his turn signal on Gray Street. The case appeared to be 15 years old. That's pretty old. I wonder why it was never brought to court.
Another matter that is 17 years old charges Mr. Turner again with failing to execute his turn signal, charged of overtaking on the left and no turn signal. He specializes in inspection. What do you want to tell me about this?
Thank you, Your Honor. This case was referred to me as part of the Roger Williams Law School Pro Bono Collaborative.
Additionally, he has a similar charge of overtaking on the left and no turn signal. Looks like Mr. Turner specializes in turn signals and overtaking on the left. The counsel explained that the case was assigned to him as a part of Roger Williams School Pro Bono Collaborative, so he's appearing in court pro bono.
Starting at the age of 18, until recently, has been in and out of the state prison system for 90 days. And since then, he's been working very hard at a company called Rhode Island Metals full-time. And we're visiting all of the places where he has old tickets.
Since then, he has been working hard full-time at a company called Rhode Island Metals. The counsel further explains the defendant has tickets in about 4 different places, and it appears that they are visiting all of these places in an attempt to resolve them so he can move forward and also he can get his license.
You want to get him back in the mainstream of society?
Yes, Your Honor. Before I worked where I currently am at, I worked for the federal court system, and what I've observed is that the people who really do want to change, who really do want to make an effort, often are successful at that.
Okay.
And I think a license will help that.
Would you allow your client to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
He told the court that he's been working with Mr. Turner for a few months, and he has found him to be very punctual and responsive to all his requests, and he also seems to be a type of person that really does want to change his life. Well, we don't always go to see that. Seeing people wanting to work on themselves is just beautiful.
I've had a chance to look at your record. You have about 15 violations here and other violations.
That was before I knew how to drive. Now, I got it, I think. Since I was 18 and 36 now. It's like 18 years.
So you spent most of your life in prison?
Grew up in there.
In an apartment?
Yeah, I just got an apartment.
And who do you live with?
I live with a girlfriend.
He spent 18 years in prison, and since he's been out, he's had no problems, and is living in an apartment with a girlfriend. Confronting to what the judge said, he has subscribed to the theory that when someone has spent an awful lot of time incarcerated, he always wants to give them a chance in life. If he decides to fine him and get his license suspended, it serves him no useful purpose.
Based on the representations of your counsel, who did a great job today.
Thank you.
And the sincerity that you are exuding, to me anyway.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm betting on you. I'm betting that you're going to do good.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
I want to place my faith that you will stand the straight and narrow path.
Yes, Your Honor.
He dismissed all the tickets and also stated that he's betting and rooting on him. He also gave him advice not to come back. Hopefully, he stayed on the right path. We have to commend his counsel, too, for doing a good job.
I do believe that Mr. Turner is on the right path right now. And
Our best wishes for you. Good luck to you. These matters are dismissed as far as the registry is concerned. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck.
This motorist has a boyfriend out of work and is in need of help. She has 4 red light violations. She explained that she always stops, but it appears that she and her boyfriend used the car, so it was probably him. Her boyfriend isn't in court today because he's taking care of her 2-week-old baby.
Well, the reason why I came is because I'm not working right now because I'm maternity leave.
Yeah, I know. You got a baby. Does your boyfriend work?
He got laid off the week before Christmas.
So those are natural fingernails?
Yes, they're mine.
You got 4 kids and none of them are broken.
I am.
Her boyfriend is an iron worker, and he got laid off the week before Christmas. He's struggling as he is still waiting. She explained that she has a ticket from 2007, but she didn't even have this particular registration with the license plate back in 2007.
Back in 07.
It's going to cost you $170. Right. Total tickets were $415. Don't promise more than you can pay. You think you can pay 20, say 10. Okay?
Thank you.
Judge Frank asked her to make a payment plan. He also told her not to promise more than what she could pay. A motorist who had spent half his life in prison gives hard-earned advice on how to avoid trouble. He has a summons for having a temporary plate on his car that goes back to 2002. Oh wow, where has he been hiding?
Been homeless and messed up in life, trying to get things right. doing all the wrong things, in and out of prison. 45, so I did about almost 30 years.
Give advice to young people.
He basically spent more than half his life in prison. He has been out for almost 3 years. Judge Frank asked what advice he'd give to young people who are at their age and are beginning to show signs of going the wrong way.
Honestly, I would tell them that path that you're about to take, that path is nothing but destruction. You're not going to get nothing good out of it.
Telling kids to go take the right path.
Just be a kid and do the things that kids do. Don't try to jump into an adult life.
Talking about the right path, I'm curious to know what exactly the right path is. According to Mr. Brown, the right path is just to be a kid and do the things that kids do. Don't try to jump into an adult life, because there's no place for you there. That's pretty deep.
A kid trying to jump into an adult life, it's not going to mesh. I despise gangs. Choosing the wrong path to get by because you don't want to be tough.
He believes being in a gang is more like using people to get by, because you don't want to be tough enough. It never sat well with him.
Well, I sat down with a caseworker, and I've been trying to get my license. Take a ride one day and clear my head. I can't do because I don't have a license.
I'm going to dismiss all of these.
Judge Frank dismissed all the tickets, so asked for him to have the opportunity to get his license reinstated. She was charged with going through a red light on Eddie and Dudley. She mentioned that she was a little compromised with her hearing. Then Judge Frank jokingly stated that she was going to jail for 10 years. You'd think she'd be freaking out, but Grandma blurted out without hesitation that she needed the rest. How is going to jail a way of resting? I'm confused.
On red after stop, right?
Right,
Which means you did not stop.
right. I was going with my daughter to her cancer doctor at the hospital.
I would probably have had to recuse myself because I've known Evelyn for a long, long time. Evelyn.
Now you did it.
The judge asked if she stopped. She explained that it was rolling stop, which basically means she didn't stop. She was going to the hospital with her daughter to see her daughter's cancer doctor. Inspector Quinn recommended that the city moves to dismiss dues to the circumstances of where she was going. That's fair enough, right? What do you think?
Evelyn used to work at a place called the Chalet Restaurant in North Providence. All the people that worked there, it was just a wonderful place to go. Any of your secrets or not? No.
The matter was dismissed based on Inspector Quinn's recommendation. A mother of 5 kids brought all her kids to court, and her son almost threw her in jail for 5 days.
Who's the most vociferous here? Any of them talkers?
Probably Alex.
Where's Alex?
It appears that Alex would be taking Judge Frank's place today. He was asked whether or not his mother was guilty. Trusting kids to be kids, he immediately said she was not guilty. Hopefully it doesn't get bad.
Should we let her go for nothing?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, money.
Yes, money.
This is exactly why you should never bring your child or children to a court hearing. The judge decides to bring it down to $35, and our dear Alex, with excitement, shouted yes again. The next question was if she was to be charged to spend 5 days in jail. And guess what? He didn't disappoint. He yells yes in excitement again.
All right, here's what I want you to say. Say, my mom was doing 1 mile over the limit. Say that.
I think you would just miss this case.
He was handed over the gavel, and our little judge dismissed the case. She was 1 mile over the limit, but Judge Frank also dismissed that case. We have to admit she is such a beautiful family. A motorist from another country thinks he's going to jail. He was charged with going through a red light. He explains that he made a right-hand turn, but he didn't pass through the light.
Am I going to go home from here, or I'm going to jail?
Well, you took me right out of that equation.
We're going to take a look at this, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take a look.
Because I didn't see the stop sign. So.
He needed to be sure before things got complicated. After viewing the footage, he was asked whether or not he was guilty. He replied in an amusing way, saying he didn't know because he didn't see the stop sign. It's obvious he's nervous. Judge Frank stated that he didn't do anything wrong, as making a right-hand turn is allowed under the Rhode Island law, unless there's a sign that says otherwise.
There was no sign in the video. You didn't do anything wrong, so the case is going to be dismissed.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Not only is he free, it's also not going to cost him any money. That was hilarious.
Feel better?
Yes, sir.
Case dismissed. See you
Feel
later.
better? All right, now put your hands behind your back.
Good morning, sir. Who drives the Jeep?
I do, mainly.
Parking, and they prohibited there. No parking 8 to 10, and you were there at 8:30.
Sure. So I've been there to visit a whole bunch of times over the past few years, and then I got up in the morning to leave, and I left because there was no parking ticket on my windshield.
You didn't see the sign, nor did you see the ticket?
No, I did not.
I'll pay the original fine, right? That's your plea, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean financially.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, maybe buy a car. Then after that, if to buy him a house, you know, so around.
Every day I wake up with a smile waiting for that.
Inspector Quinn, I'm going to dismiss those tickets unless you object strenuously. Well, you really represent what America is all about, right? You come into court, you're supporting your son, and the rest of the tickets are dismissed. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Keep up your good work.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning,
I'm a
sir.
Korean War veteran, and I'm coming out of hibernation.
You have been before this court previously. You were here. You told me you hit your neighbor with a 5-pound hammer.
3 pound, and I didn't hit him. I sliced up.
What happened with that case?
I went to jail for 30 days.
So you were in Korea. You came back home. You were a veteran. You had problems with your neighbor.
The worst thing that happened to a human being. No record at all. He found a regular hammer. He said, I got it. He didn't even have the right hammer.
What was your time in jail?
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Couldn't eat the food. There wasn't food. I'm an old man, and I'm tired. I'm taking Zoloft for problems between the ears. I couldn't find a parking place, so I parked half a...
Your Honor, how old did you say, 86?
Huh?
86?
Yeah.
The city will move to dismiss with a warning.
I agree with Inspector Quinn. Thank you for your service to this country. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Fight. Good luck. You're free to go. Good evening, sir. What do you want to say?
No, I just want to explain my circumstances.
Sure.
I'm a recovering addict. I live in a sober house. I did about 27 years in prison since I was 19. Can't get a job. I'm trying to turn. I want to stand up there with a cardboard thing and say, can I get a job? My parents died when I was in jail. I thumbed out here when I was 15. But
They give you a chance to go to the funeral when you were in prison?
yeah, they brought me in shackles. I couldn't go to my mother's because I'm from Attleboro originally.
This is Westminster, and you probably made a right-hand turn.
Blink around, all right? That's good.
People who come in, who are being discharged from prison should be given an opportunity to prove themselves. Okay,
Yeah.
so that if you don't have 3 cents in your pocket, $80 is like $1 million.
So it is.
You know?
I'm worried about giving Superior Court $20 every 2 months.
I'm really rooting for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, my mission is to help other addicts.
Well, the first thing you better do is help yourself.
Right.
I'm going to dismiss this
All right,
case.
Thank you.
There's a motion to vacate judgment. He spent the last 26 years in prison. He was an irresponsible person when he was younger.
I just got out on the 28th of last month.
And how many years did you serve?
26.
26 years.
Yes, sir.
If you don't get your license, you're not going to be able to go someplace to work. You have any message for young people that are listening to this?
If you want a better future, that's like the main thing. One leads to the cemetery, the other one's to prison. There's no gain around that. I wasn't mentored in that class. I graduated first, then I wasn't mentored in it.
I'm going to dismiss everything.
Thank you, John.
I want to give you a clean slate. Well, you had some good advice for young people. I hope they listen to you.
Hope so, too.